What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You are now tuned into the Black Ramen Podcast. I myself, Chatty Patty, with a special guest, a reoccurring guest, my brother from another mother. Go ahead, homie.
Hold up, man. Time out, man. I need you to kick that futuristic George Jetson, aka stuff that you. Where is the queen of the Buster call? The queen, like, come on, man. Nah,
I got too excited.
We came here to give the people a show. That is what they're gonna get. Let's run it back. Take it from the top. Who? Let me introduce you, man. Who am I speaking with right now?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is now Chatty Patty from New York, aka Madam Straw Hat, aka the Celestial Freaking Dragon, aka This My Pirate Ship, aka I am the Buster Call. Okay, that's good enough. You like that?
Oh yeah,
I like that. That was good.
Yeah, you already know. She's joined by none other than DTOWN, aka Hip Hop and Anime Vibes, aka Sop Smoke, aka Faptosai, the Hand Slayer, aka Mew Tupac Shakur, aka Sailor Goon, and in the name of the Goon, Chid.
I love it. Yo, you changed everything. I thought you was gonna do my favorite.
Which one was that?
The all might, all sight. Like I was like, man, this man got bars, man. I'm like ready for him. He got bars.
I completely left out the baby Vegeta. Like that one was.
Oh, I love that. I purposely listen to the podcast for the intros.
Hey man, I respect that. Thank you.
Listen to podcasts for the intros. If you guys don't know, D is the host of Hip Hop and Anime Vibes. You could check him out on Apple. I think you're on Spotify too, right?
Yeah, man. You know, wherever you get your Spotify's from, wherever you get your podcasts from, that's where your boy is at. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, I mean, what's up? Hip Hop and Anime Vibes is the podcast. Y'all know what time it is.
Facts. And he's if you guys don't know, if you guys just tuned in, D is actually one of the podcasts that I listened to before I got started and was just marveled. And I was like, nah, this dude is doing this by himself. I want to start a podcast. He was just phenomenal, had the and then he has some dope beats. He's a producer, a rapper, and everything in between that's related to just talent. Like, he was just amazing. I was like, yo, who is this guy? So I was like, let me get some episodes in and then I'll reach out and see if he'll do the show. My man hit me back. When I tell you, I was like, nah, this ain't him. This is spam. This is somebody pretending to be. I was so honored. So thank you so much.
Oh, no. The pleasure is all mine, man. I mean, I could sit here and compliment you and the crew up and down each day and every day. I think what you guys are doing is phenomenal. And I will say this to the people that are listening. You are in the right place. Black Ramen Podcast is literally the best anime podcast that's out there. It's the blackest anime podcast with the most ramen. And I think if you take a look back at our catalog, the collaborations that we've done, if you just dive down there, you're going to get some really dope episodes, because this isn't the first episode we've done with each other. You know, I've done your podcast, you've done my podcast.
Yeah.
And like, just clear your calendar. If you're looking for some good content, just go down the Black Ramen Hip Hop and Anime Vibes cinematic podcast universe and indulge. Basically. Appreciate you for coming on. Definitely. Shout out to Derby and Bree for not being able to be here. So we're just gonna shout them out. You know, they busy, you know, doing grown-up shit. You know, it's life. Life hits us hard. So, you know, gotta get the money right, you know, gotta pay those bills. But shout out to Derby and Bree. Hey y'all. So I wanted D to come on here for this episode specifically because I know D, he's a well-structured corporate man. You know, he knows all about the biz. You know, as you could tell, you know, even though he's versatile with the lyrics, my man has the illest customer service voice I've ever heard in my life.
He turns it on and off. I guarantee. He makes me want to pay bills when I speak to him when he switches it on. So what I wanted to bring up is that not too long ago, it was just announced that the voice actor, the main voice actor of Mob Psycho, I think he plays Mob. His name is Kyle McCarley, right? So he just recently announced that he just dropped Mob Psycho 100, and he won't be appearing for season 3. And he took to the streets. My man pressed record, went on YouTube, and announced that it wasn't his decision to leave Mob Psycho. The reason that he will no longer come on season 3 is because Crunchyroll gave him the boot. He literally said that Crunchyroll gave him the boot because Crunchyroll refused to sign anything with him under his contract, which is called SAG-AFTRA. Am I saying it right? SAG-AFTRA. So it's SAG-AFTRA.
They mostly call them SAG actors, I think. So.
Okay, SAG actors.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say SAG. You should have told me that before I spelled it out. But all right, so you let me embarrass myself real quick. Okay, cool.
It's okay. We're among friends. We love you. We know your heart.
Appreciate you. No. So it's a union-based company, right? So it makes what happens is if you're an actor and you are freelancing and you want to make sure you get benefits, SAG will definitely make sure that you get health care and that you get long-term benefits instead of just getting a paycheck and just keeping it moving, regardless of how long your term is with the show or the episode, right? So Crunchyroll, who didn't make a comment or anything at all, just gave him the boot. He said it wasn't about the pay because the pay wasn't an issue. He just was underneath this union and they wanted no parts of any voice actors in this union. This is what this is allegations because Crunchyroll hasn't made a statement yet. They haven't come out and said that, oh, we fired him particularly because of this. This is what he said in his YouTube channel recently.
More than likely, if they do make a statement, no, I think, well, I may have recalled them saying that he won't be returning. But typically the verbiage that companies use around stuff like this is we're opting not to renew the contract or something along that. We're opting not to renew the contract with this guy in light of this. Like they don't really give a reason. But when you see that type of verbiage, they're never going to say we outright terminated a guy or we outright fired a guy. They're just pretty much either going to say, hey, we've got a new voice actor or we're not renewing his contract for season 3, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Which is it's kind of disappointing at this point because it's I think American voice actors have every right to want benefits and want to make sure that their pay can be negotiable. Now he's saying that he joined them to get the benefits as well, but when you're under SAG, you actually have the potential to come meet Crunchyroll at the table and negotiate, you know, your future salary. Or maybe, may I dare say it? What was that thing we talked about? When it
residuals. Yeah, residuals.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know what? The fact that they're quiet. Well, you know, the statement that was like blah that Crunchyroll made. Oh, you know that we know what it is. We know what it is. But
yeah,
what do you think this means for other voice actors? Because after this, Anaris came out and said, "Well, she just tweeted. If you guys don't know Anaris, she's like a big time voice actor, actress. She's on Jujutsu Kaisen. She was on Fruits Basket. She was like." She's the baddie with the curly hair. You know, she's just amazing. We actually did an interview with her on Anime NYC, and she just tweeted that she only got $150 for doing the Jujutsu Kaisen movie,
And that movie made millions.
She played Rika Orimoto in the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. And you are correct. She did tweet that she made approximately $150 US. So here's the thing, Chief. I think because with the Mob Psycho 100 situation, this really is putting a lot of things that I've researched on this topic into perspective. And Patty watched the video. She's giving me the breakdown now. This is new information right here that's been presented to me as far as the set. They said that he's with SAG, he's unionizing, and they want to keep him away. And the reason I say keep him away is because through my research, and Patty, I'm sorry, I'm going to fuck up some sponsorship dollars for you here real fast. Crunchyroll and Funimation have a notoriously infamous reputation of underpaying American voice actors. So I want to put this into perspective, right? When we talk about the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, this was a movie that made $28 million before it came to the table to be dubbed. This is also exclusively licensed by Crunchyroll, which is owned by Sony. Sony, you know, the motion picture company that makes all the sitcoms and stuff like that. They have the funds to pay these actors, right? To put things into further perspective, the anime industry in Japan is worth $251 trillion or trillion yen, which translates into roughly about $17 billion alone in just Japan. So with that said, that's not even talking about what happens when it comes overseas, right? The money is there to pay them fairly and to pay them equitably, right? Or to pay them correctly, I should say. I don't know if equitably is a word, but stick with me here. So, and we're going to get into it, but the fact that Kyle is like, I've unionized, I'm now with SAG, it defies the standard contracts, practices, and policies that they have in place now in anime voice dubbing. So it would make sense for an organization to be like, oh, well, we're just not going to fuck with you at this point. You know, because everyone else is doing it and they're doing it for this rate. Why if we give you residuals, we got to give everyone else residuals. And that's just not something we're willing to do. But I kind of wanted to get some feedback from you here, Patty, when it comes to Anaris sounding off about the 150 whopping US American dollars that she made. How on earth can a person make, how can a company justify that? And how can a person live off of that? That's a loaded question. I don't expect you to answer. I'm so sorry.
No.
That's a shitty question.
It is no. I get what you're going. Like that. There's only one answer. You can't. Right. You can't. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think she lives in Florida. Last time we spoke, I think she lives in Florida, which is damn, it's not that bad. If she was in New York, she'd be in a cardboard box. God forbid. Like you can't live off of that.
Yeah, you can't.
You know, everybody's talking about inflation and stuff like that. But the thing is what is it going to mean for future voice actors now? Because it's been so long. We let's be fair. I've shitted on a lot of voice actors growing up. Now I've seen that the quality of voice acting has definitely changed severely. It's been amazing, right? Because now they're actually focusing on booking people that take it serious. Not to say that they weren't taking. Nah, yes, I'm saying it. Back in the day, they were just having random people that work in offices and say, "Hey, do you want to voice act on this anime?" Sure, they did it real quick, and nobody paid attention. Like nobody took it seriously. I used to make fun and say that most of voice actors back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, were people who failed as actors and weren't even good in theater, and was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna settle for being a voice actor," right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe now that we're getting quality, now that anime is mainstream, they are able to book voice actors that are going to take this craft seriously. And when that happens, we get more people that are in that want to be involved, that want to watch more anime, because there are some people that are not willing to touch sub. And they're willing to wait a year and a half until the dub comes out. Yeah, D, I see you. I see you.
Yeah, that's me.
Read faster, my guy. But I'm just saying, like, when you do that and you have options for the fans, that means more fans, more money, and that means more content, right? So I'm not hating on it. I loved it. But now with this coming to play, and you're talking about, oh, union's bad. Well, all the voice actors are doing is just making sure that they're protected. What does that mean for the future of dub?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I'm going to kind of like put things into further perspective, because I got a lot of data here and I don't want to overload the listeners, but
nah, go ahead. Spit it out, Johnny Five.
Through J5. Beep, beep, boop, beep. No one's going to get that Blank Man reference. Different time.
If they did, oh my God, you get a prize. But go ahead.
That's a movie that could not be made today. I will leave it at that.
The Black Man, I can't.
But I think one of the things that people don't really understand about anime is a lot of the money comes from merchandising. As far as like how they make money. Okay, so because a lot of the you know, I don't want to call us casuals, but it's like, dude, like there are people who will watch an anime and they're so compelled by it that they'll go out and they'll blow a rack on just the figures alone. You know what I mean? So that's a really big thing for them, and that's primarily where their focus is. Now, this is one of the few industries that were virtually unaffected by the pandemic. Granted, production schedules and things like that might have slowed during the pandemic. Ultimately, the industry still grew and is continuing to grow. And the big thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that Amazon, Netflix, Crunchyroll, etc., there are some streaming wars going on, and this is increasing the demand for this type of content for anime, right?
Yes.
Sony, again, I've said it before, Sony has enough money to pay people fair wages, but again, they just simply aren't. So let's talk about what they are making on average, okay? So if you run a quick Google search, and I'm going to get a little bit deeper into this, it's going to tell you that the average anime voice actor, okay, makes anywhere, the average is 76,000, okay, but that's
American voice actors.
Correct. American dub actors. Yep. The range is wide. $76,000 is the average, 213,000 being the most, 13,000 being the least. Okay. And I just want you guys to take a moment, and I'm going to ask Patty, you live in New York. I live in Ohio. How long would you and your family be able to survive off of $13,000 a year?
Let me tell you something. This is the reason why I got married. I can't afford this rent. I really can't. I really can't. Typical New Yorker, for you to survive, to be able to live comfortably, you have to make at least $75,000 a year. If you're making 30, be prepared to have a couple of roommates, not one roommate, a couple. A studio apartment out here can go up to $2,000. Just a studio apartment, and you'll be thankful if you have a closet. Some of them don't even have a closet. Like it's ridiculous, but you can't make a living off of that.
No, not at all.
Not with 13. No,
That's what I spend on Metro cards.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because it's you got to move around there. Like it's like you can't
how
drive.
You get to work. You can't drive. Who paying for gas? Where's parking?
Crazy, man. That's nuts. So then, of course, you know, if we talk about some of the actors' experiences, right? Anaris. If we break that down, that's $150 she made for Jujutsu Kaisen, a movie that bring in $28 million off the dribble. That is, and I don't want to get too deep into her pockets, right? But it's my understanding that you still have to pay taxes, agency fees, and things like that. So, it's quite possible that she may not have even seen the full 150. And through my research, I've noticed that this has been going on for quite a while. And I'm just now kind of like picking up on it, right? So what's this woman's name? Sarah Sakura. She's worked with Funimation in various capacities before. States that they typically make anywhere between $35 to $75 an hour with an anime.
Okay.
So not necessarily bad until you calculate that they only may be filming 2 episodes a week. That's 2 8-hour days a week. And you may not be working consistently, right?
Unless you're Phil Lamar.
Correct. And I think that's how a lot of these guys make their money. They make their money on the road. They're not really making it in the industry itself. So before I go on, I kind of want to pivot here. I want to get your thoughts on streaming. Like, how do you think they're paid? Like with streaming, how should they be paid? All of that good stuff.
What do you mean streaming? Like when they go on like lives and go on YouTube and stuff like that?
No, on streaming platforms. And I thank you for
on streaming platforms.
Like should they get paid for someone watching Jujutsu Kaisen on Crunchyroll?
If you're part of the original cast, like the main characters, I think so. Like because Crunchyroll is, here's the thing. What concerns me, right, is that the fact that Crunchyroll being the dominant source of anime, and when the thing is that they could do whatever they want, because where are you going to go? So they have the upper hand. I don't think they were doing, I think this would have been a different conversation if there were other avenues to go to.
Right.
So I mean, I feel like all these voice actors who do phenomenal work should get residuals. They should. They should get something from the streaming. I
agree. And this is, and I want to frame this for the listeners, because this is where this is going to be a really educational episode. If I can get in my bag, man, I swear, man, y'all are
pen and paper ready, because I knew you was going to dive into this when I spoke to you last night, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. Now let's drop some knowledge darts on them. Let's talk about the difference between streaming and syndication, because see, a lot of people have the perception that because you're streaming something on a platform like a Netflix or an Amazon, that it works a lot like the music industry, where you get some type of residual for your performance there. And that is not the case, at least when it comes to anime. We can talk about Scarlett Johansson in her instance in a moment here, but the difference between syndication and streaming, right? Syndication is when you're on broadcast television, you typically get a check every quarter if your show is syndicated, right? That's like your Fresh Princes, your Martins, your Living Singles. If it's coming on Fox Soul, you think about TV, you think about cable, and that's an old model, right? That's been around for years.
Oh, wow.
Almost 50 years. So if it's playing on TV, those actors are going to get a check out of nowhere every quarter. Streaming is different in the sense that based off of how the contracts are set up, you get paid your salary and that's it. Regardless of how many times someone streams an episode, most contracts state there's no residuals for streaming it. Now, in most instances, you may get a bonus if it's licensed to a streaming platform, like if it's licensed to like an HBO Max or a BET Plus. There might be like a licensing bonus or something like that that's paid out and spread out across like the staff and whoever is involved. But in many instances, that's not the case. And that's what's happening here with these voice actors. They're not seeing residuals because they're pretty much grandfathered into a work for hire freelance type situation. You essentially show up for the day, you do your work, you get paid, you go home. That's it.
Right. Which I think is unfair though.
It definitely is.
Because nobody's watching sitcoms if it's not on streaming platforms. Everybody's streaming. Everybody's streaming, watching these shows. And I feel like they should start moving with the times and changing, but you know, capitalism. So I'm just a bit concerned because where do we go from here now? What is the solution now? Because not everybody let's be honest, not if everybody says, okay, if all the voice actors came together and was like, okay, we're going to form this union, it has to be everybody. I'm talking about top voice actors. We talk about Nairish. We're talking about AJ. We're talking about Zeno. The guy who does what's his name? Sebastian. What's his name? No, Sabbath. Right?
Chris Sabbath. Yeah.
The guy who does Goku, the guy who does Vegeta, he does All Might. All those famous voice actors that when you go to conventions, their line is around the corner. They would have to be on board for it to be successful. But because those are the voice actors that are well paid, I don't think they would see that the union would benefit them in that way. You know?
Yeah,
I feel like that's one of the reasons why mangakas don't form unions, because for it to be successful, you need the top-notch mangakas to get on board. Oda, he's already made his mark. He's not gonna be like, okay, let's unionize. What's that gonna mean for him? He already got he's worth millions.
And plus the turnover rate in Shonen Jump for mangakas is a lot higher. Like, that's a discussion in and of itself. The amount of canceled mangas for whatever reason, whether it be due to bad writing or whatever, like everyone isn't an Oda. You know what I mean? And to your point, it's like, yo, if you're making $250,000 a year podcasting, and here I am making $10,000 a year, and I'm like, hey, you need to take a stand and help me get more money, even though it's gonna fuck up your bag. You're gonna be like, whoa, wait a minute now, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, grunt. You know what I mean?
Oh, not the bootstraps.
But these guys, but I mean, these guys got families. You know what I mean? And it's I don't. It shouldn't be that the artists and the actors have to come together. It should be the company does the right thing, recognizes that the industry is growing, and they pay them correctly. For example, one of the voice actors, I believe it was the guy that voiced Ed Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. He said this was going on back in 2007. He said they essentially were paying him $30 an hour as Ed Elric, and then they moved it up to $44 for the movie. Because the series had done so well. And if we want to talk about how the disparity is spread out across the industry, translators have it super bad as well. Translators are making $250 like per episode. You know what I mean? Translating 450 lines, sometimes more of dialogue. And they're tasked with making sure that the story makes sense, making sure that if they fuck up, it could lead to a bad performance. It could lead to you not liking the series. It could lead to gaping plot holes. It could lead to the whole, that's why I watch subs and not dubs. So it's like, it's across the end. And even if we keep going and we talk about how animators over in Japan are literally working themselves into exhaustion and in most instances death.
Yeah.
I think this issue is a bit bigger than just the American voice talent. Not saying that their fight isn't worthy, right? Not saying that their complaints aren't valid. But when you take a step back and you look at how much the industry is making versus how much they're paying their people, it's fucking ridiculous, I think is the term. Fucking ridiculous is the term. Yes.
You got it. You got it.
Yep.
No, I'm just saying though, like anime has never been as popular as it is now. So my thing is like now where there's everybody eating, everybody making money, everybody look. What's so crazy? Mappa just announced that Chainsaw Man is gonna have 12 different endings, 12 different ending songs from 12 different bands and singers. You got money for that? If you got money for that, you eating good. Where's my plate? That's what I'm saying. Where's my plate? Because everybody's eating. There's no reason. There's so many anime fans that are coming out the woodwork now because the pandemic has opened up our eyes and be like, hey, we don't need to go outside. We just need a Crunchyroll account or a Netflix account or Hulu, Amazon, whatever you want to call it. HBO was now stepping in the scene. Disney Plus was like, oh, we want a piece of this. Bleach, got it. Like, I'm just saying, like, if there's all this money for everybody to eat, because that's the only reason that all these streaming platforms are now jumping into the anime scene, because they see it profitable. Why is it that you guys are not distributing it evenly to the people who put in money into the game before it was popular? The people who are investing their talent to make sure that this is successful, especially translators. But the voice actors, they came along. Like I said, dub came a long fucking way. Because like, I will not. Yeah. But I mean, there are some dope dub. Don't get it twisted. They are. But back in my time, when I was watching it during the VHS era, I was like, oh nah. Who hired these people? like they sound crazy. Well, now, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, with that, right, and to your earlier point, a lot of these guys, you said, might have been like failed actors in the 80s and the 90s, and who just kind of like was working an office job, came in and just started voicing characters, right? That's how we got Steve Bloom. And I don't think people, and just to kind of frame it, right? That guy started from the tree. He basically got it out the mud. He was like one of the first wave of people that was dubbing anime. So it's going to be really incredibly difficult for a guy that's that successful for someone to be like, we all need to come together as a unit, you know. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I know me, if I were in that situation and I had a family to provide for, I would be like, y'all need to come together as a unit. I'm going to keep making these checks. You know what I mean? So for that reason, I don't want to place the burden solely on the artists, right? Because
no, we shouldn't. We shouldn't, not at all. But I feel like that's the only way, me personally, when it comes to finding a solution, I feel like the only way, because I'm not going to depend on the companies for them to do better. They won't. They will never. That's why unions are formed, because they're not looking out for their best interests. They're looking out for them. Just like HR. HR is not your friend, ladies and gentlemen. HR is to protect the company. So the union, if it's a good union, is there to protect you. There to have your best interests, to make sure you can walk out of a situation and make sure that you are secured, you're entitled to your benefits, your health care, just basic necessities that you have as an employer. Employer or employee? Employee.
Yeah, we're right now. This conversation is all against the employer.
Of course, you gotta stick it to the man all day long.
So I'm gonna try and stick the landing on this thing because I feel like I don't want to run it into the mud. But I'm gonna make two kind of quick points. Okay. I got to going down the rabbit hole and trying to figure out how in the fucking world is it possible that one person can make $300 for Jujutsu Kaisen, one person can make $150 for Jujutsu Kaisen. And to correct myself from an earlier point, the movie didn't make 28 million US dollars. It made 196 million US dollars. So, and that's before they even started dubbing it and translating it for the most part. So these guys had the money for it. They knew what it was going to do, especially after what they seen the success of Demon Slayer, right?
Facts.
What it appears to be happening is much like our mangaka conversation, where like we had a huge discussion about the Demon Slayer mangaka.
Yeah.
How she was barely getting anything from the movie. They're locking the voice actors in at pretty much like a fixed rate. So even though it's a movie and it's going to have a theatrical release, it's pretty much kind of like grandfathered or locked into the contract. Is basically like a regular episode. So that, and I don't want to get too deep into the pockets. I'm just going to assume this, but I would assume that that $150 or $300 worth of payment was 2 hours worth of work and 4 hours worth of work on the movie. After that, that's pretty much it. Okay. So the question comes into play. This is the $1 million question. What can we do to help out? Like, what steps can we take?
Oh, I was waiting for that one, sir. Hands up. Hold on. Listen, I got it. This Go ahead. I got hype because I already had what was going to, like, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, you can't beat free. This is what I'm going to let you know right now. Crunchyroll, understand this. Before there was a Crunchyroll, there was always sites to watch your animes. Dub and sub. They're out here. They're out here. Even if it's not sub, I'm telling you, people will sacrifice and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna start my reading and make sure I catch up. Or my hand gonna be on that Apple remote to make sure I hit pause. Siri, what he said? Siri, what he said? What she said? Listen, it's nothing. I'm letting you know right now. Crunchyroll, you want to continue getting this payment? You want to continue getting this money? You got to do right by these voice actors, because this is who we follow. This is who we listen to. This is what makes the anime pop and go to and come out and make us into anime fans and make the newcomers love them. I'm letting you know right now, there's nothing, because there's plenty of people like me that will come out here and have a whole thread of websites that you can watch this shit for free. Don't play with me. We will do this. Hold on, Funk Flex. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a travesty when you find out you're gonna be just like Netflix. You're gonna have to raise up your prices, and then eventually you will no longer exist. There are so many websites with limited amount of what do you call those, ads? And once all it takes is for one famous voice actor to say, F Crunchyroll, I'm not doing this no more. You shouldn't support Crunchyroll. All we need is one. And after that, everybody gonna be like, what? Cowboy Bebop said what? Oh, nah. I got All Might said what? Goku said what? Yo, nobody, everybody's gonna mess up and just cancel. Because you know there's no penalty to cancel your subscription to Crunchyroll. You just let that cancel and then start streaming your stuff illegally. And you know what happens when you start streaming your stuff illegally? You get it on time. You get your pan time. So I don't have to wait for you to simulcast or nothing. I'm going to sit there and watch the shit for free. I don't think Crunchyroll can afford that. I don't think Sony can afford that. So, I mean, they have the funds for it, but since they're diving in so heavily into this market, this anime market now, I don't think they want to see it fail. So my warning to Crunchyroll, right? And this is free. This is free game right now, even though I'm not sponsored, but I'm just saying, do better or you're going to have a major boycott in your hands. And when that happens, there's no coming back from it. I already forgave you for God of High School. I don't think I have another one in me.
Oh, you know, season 2 of God of High School coming soon.
Don't play with me.
I'm not playing.
You serious?
I feel like I read that somewhere. I don't want to derail your point. You've got such good, clean energy going.
Don't do that. Oh, you just messed up my whole. I was amped. My chest was big and everything. I was ready to King Kong on this shit. Now all of a sudden you just like, who okayed this? Who said this is okay? Nah, I feel like this is what's going to happen. Crunchyroll is going to lose a lot of money. People are going to boycott. All it takes is for one major voice actor, and the people are going to boycott. That's the outcome. That's my prediction.
They're starting to blow the roof off of this motherfucker, for real. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, once I did my research and I got as far back as like Full Metal Alchemist, like you were basically paying the dude, you know what I mean, like $30 for the voice of Ed Elric for a movie. Like, that was nuts. So let me backtrack a little bit. How can you help? I was doing a little bit of research because I had that question. I'm like, because I think this is fucked up. I think that they should get paid fairly. Because what they're doing, as much as people want to say I could be a voice actor, like, this is a paid skill that's very in demand. You can see just based off of the amount of titles that they're licensing, and by the same 12 people voicing the same characters in different series. Like, it's nuts. So I'm gonna butcher this man's name, Michael Schwabel. Who voices, and I'm sorry if I tore your name up, my guy. He voices Kawaki on Boruto. Kawaki? I'm fucking up all the names, man.
They go that interview for us. Thank you, D.
I'm fucking up sponsorships and everything. Like, Crunchyroll is gonna send us a strong cease and desist. Like,
it's coming. It's coming.
But he said specifically, and I sought this out, and I believe this was from comicbook.com, a tweet that he put out earlier this year. If you're a Crunchyroll subscriber, write to their customer service and let them know that as a paying user, you want to see Crunchyroll increase production budgets so that actors, engineers, directors, and writers are all paid what they should be. I don't know why I read that like it was an audition for a character, but I mean,
I'd book you. That was beautiful.
Long story oh man, long story made less long. Right, Crunchy. One of the voice actors is pretty much saying write them and tell them how unfair it is. And to your point, Patty, I don't think that they're going to outright say, hey, hey, Dave.
We get to see the twins. We get to see the babies.
We get to see Dave.
Hi. Oh, if you guys are not watching this on YouTube, sucks for you, because this is the cutest little boy I've ever seen. Hey, boo boo. Hey.
All right. Can we do our song and then leave? Say A, B, C, D, E, F. Good job. Very good, man. All right, one more. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine up. Good job. Good job, buddy. All right, Dave. Sorry, it's all right, man. Love you, Dave.
Come on. Hands.
Go with mama.
Bye, boo boo.
We're going to go play.
Turn around the other way.
I know.
You can come in here and grab them.
Come on.
Thank you, buddy. One moment. I'm so sorry.
That is cool. Ladies and gentlemen, he thinks I'm editing that. I am not. This is going to stay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. My ovaries. Oh, my God.
So, yeah. Voice actors. Gotta get paid.
Oh, no. So, he's so adorable. Oh, man. I love him. He's so adorable. Came in. It's like, it's my show now, Daddy.
He's straight up did. He's running the show here.
He is. But I mean, writing the letters, you really think that's going to work?
You know, the biggest thing,
you got to hit them in their pockets. I don't think writing letters is going to work.
You know, the biggest thing in all of this is I always look to the victims of oppression to set the terms for how we should support them.
Okay.
And that was really important for me to find that. And it's like, to your point, I don't think they're going to come out and outright say fuck Crunchyroll. But what they are saying is fuck this industry in very polite and respectful ways. And if they're saying right to them and say this, then that's what we can do. If they switch it up and say now we should use pirated sites only, I don't see how that helps their pockets. But if that's what you want me to do, that's what I'll do. But I
mean, to be fair, nothing's really helping their pockets, to be honest with you. They're getting peanuts. So it's like, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So okay. Let's get the emails going, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's what they want us support. Let's get the emails going, the Crunchyroll. So
I don't know what their email address is, but even if you got to go into the App Store and drop that stuff in there, man, it's too many different points of contact for you to hit these people. It's not 1998 anymore. We don't got to write old school letters. You know what I mean? Like, they see all of that stuff. Trust me.
They do. They do. Hold on. There's a hashtag that Kyle, the voice actor, the dub voice actor of Mob Psycho, has for this specific specific. It's all right. The hashtag is just a meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to this podcast and you want to write an email to Crunchyroll or just DM if you follow them on Instagram or whatever, but specifically if you're writing an email, put on the subject title, it's just a meeting. Let them know it's serious. Let them know what this is about. Let that all flood in. And maybe we'll see a change. But like I said, the person who's like what Dee said, the person that's getting oppressed, if this is what they say that they need as form of support, you got to listen. And if that's what they need, we're going to give them what they need. Any final words to this topic?
Nah, man, I think if I had to sum it up, I think the industry is growing. It's a $25 billion industry worldwide. That's including Japan and America. The industry has done nothing but grown. Sony acquired Crunchyroll, and then Crunchyroll bought Funimation for $1.2 billion. The money is there to pay these actors fairly. And I think $150 for a movie is just an abuse of power. That's all that really is. You guys knew what that film was going to do prior to it coming over here. And I don't like to speak for anyone else, but I know if I was in Anaris's shoes, if I was in any of the cast members' shoes, I would say this is completely unfair. This is bogus and this is bullshit. And just because they're not speaking up about it, that doesn't mean that it's right and that you guys should continue to pay them unfairly.
Facts. Okay.
So, now would not be a good time for me to announce my partnership. Let me chill.
Bruh, don't do that to me. What? Are you kidding me? I'm about to say, see, this is that bullshit. You ain't tell me none of this before we press record.
Nah, this is an Amazon slander. You know, I've been paid by Amazon to slander these guys.
No, stop it.
Watch Invincible season 2. Let me chill.
Not coming out. We never.
Allegedly. This is not that. This is not that. Don't sue me, please. I'm not. Nah, man. Because Tasha K. Hey, man, listen. Got to be careful what you say on this microphone, man. Tasha K. I got you. If they hit me with the C&D, man, please pull the episode, man. Like, I don't got $4 million to give nobody.
I ain't got $2 to give to nobody, let alone millions. Like, I'm not doing that. I can't believe Cardi won that case though. That's crazy.
It set a precedent. It set the tone. You know what I mean? Which I know we've got another topic, but that set the tone because it's like I felt like we were in an era where, and we're still in an era to a certain extent, where people will do and say anything for likes, comments, and views and stuff like that while posturing as journalists. and that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like there, now that there's some accountability to be had, like somebody said something wild about Nicki Minaj's baby. I'm not going to repeat it.
Nah, don't.
But it's
I
like,
don't want the Barbs to come over here, please.
nah, but what they said about a 1-year-old child, it's like, I understand you may have issue with Nicki or her husband for whatever reason, but that baby ain't did nothing to nobody. And Nicki suing one of the bloggers for defamation against her son.
As she should. Hands off kids.
That's a fact.
You want to talk about kids? You can say anything you want. Talk about my outfit, talk about my fit, everything. Kids, not touch. We used to have that line where nobody talks about kids. Nobody does that. But
no, speaking of kids and not touching kids.
Oh, good segue. Good segue. I like that one. That was fire. Speaking of that, My Hero is on the headlines again. My Hero Academia fans are pissed and upset. It is not the fandom that's doing crazy shit. It's because the latest cover art of an issue came out, and it shows, what's the invisible girl name? What's her name?
They know who we talk about, man. Like, come on,
the invisible girl.
If you asking about anybody outside of Deku, Bakugo, and All Might, and Bunny Girl,
yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Hey, come on,
pretty much. I'm not even gonna hold you, but yeah. So Shorty is on the cover, and she like, let's just say all she got on is a pair of boots and some gloves, and that's it. So a lot of people are in an uproar because she is a high school student, and a lot of people feel uncomfortable that they're sexualizing a high school student, an underage high school student, right? No comments has been made yet as far as like an apology or a statement from the mangaka or Viz Media. But if you go on social media, it's the talk of, as soon as you put in My Hero, all you're going to find is people talking about this latest chapter 368.
Now, I want to say this because this is a sensitive topic, right? Whenever you have an implied nude drawing of middle school or a high schooler, it's a bad thing, right? It's not to be made light of. It should be treated seriously. And I definitely understand people's sentiments about it. You know what I mean? It's a bit jarring. It's a bit disturbing. But to the fandom, I want to say this. Nigga, this is where you draw the line. This right here, this, not when you had the chick bending over with her chest exposed, like pulling items out of her back while she's on all fours. Like, are you kidding me? The way that they've been drawing these characters in this series has been crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, not even for this series. I mean, look at another series, Dress Up Darling. It's about a girl who loves to cosplay, and they sexualize the hell out of this girl. She has naked shots almost like every other episode, right? And it's just, and she's in high school. It's a high school student. But my thing is like, are you guys just noticing this? Is this the new fans that are just noticing that this is how anime is? I'm not saying that, even though I'm saying that this has been going on, I'm not saying that it's okay. It's definitely not okay. But like you said, this is where you come out and say, whoa, 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 we gotta stop.
Yeah, it's like, my nigga, you done seen 6 seasons of this shit.
What?
Now you want to get fake mad about, like, look, man, listen, okay. I think the people need to kind of understand why this happens. And as an anime fan, there is a level of kind of like understanding like cultural differences, right? Shit get a little weird. Not saying I accept it, but the age of consent over there is super, super, super low compared to what it is over here. And the art reflects that. So it kind of just like perplexes me. It's like it's like we didn't need this. That's the big thing, right? It's like, even if you understand all the cultural stuff around that, like My Hero Academia, where it's at in the manga, is a great story. And what Deku's doing in there right now is phenomenal. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. Please read it and get caught up. But it's like this Kim Kardashian shock piece. We didn't need this. No one asked for this. And I think that's really, I think people are doing like a poor job of articulating like that part of why they're upset. It's like, dude, what the fuck? We didn't need this. You know what I mean?
True. And then what is it? There's another show that's like on Netflix called Bastard. And if I'm not mistaken, the female protagonist, she's 17 years old and she is running around butt naked. And none of y'all saying nothing about that. Like,
because no one's watching Netflix for anime.
Unless this is the top. Like, Bastard was all over social media. Everybody loved Bastard. It was close to, it was very fan servicey. It's damn near close to hentai. I'm not even gonna hold you. It is damn near close to hentai. And I don't know. I just feel like you can't pick and choose what you feel is inappropriate. I feel like you're supposed to stand 10 toes down on the shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how I see it.
I agree. And I think that's the kind of the part that really like bothers me about all of this. It's like, I don't know. It's super sensitive. I get, people can feel how they want to feel, but it's like, at the end of the day, my outrage is a bit of a strong word. Let me not say that. My confusion comes around like, what was the purpose of this? Like, was it to move more? Was it to move more things? Like, was it to move more units? You know what I mean? Because I mean, look, I don't want to give it away, but you got one of the characters in that joint ain't gonna make it to graduation. I would have loved to see that character.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. That's a big spoiler.
I mean, I didn't say who.
Okay,
but it ain't Invisible Girl. She gonna be all right.
Apparently she is.
She gonna be okay, man. But one of them students probably ain't gonna make it to graduation.
They should have focused on that. That's what you're saying. They should have focused on that. Yeah,
that's where the story is right now. You know what I mean? Like, and it ain't because they GPA was low neither. Like, I would have much preferred it to be that. I would have much preferred one of these characters to be a super senior coming back, driving to school. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, no. I mean, it's I don't know. This thing has been going on for the longest in Hollywood. I think people are just now getting caught. And Hollywood is just now, oh, we can't put that. We get canceled now. We can't do that. We get canceled now. But I think with anime, it's a whole different ball game.
It is.
You know, so I'm not saying that you guys are not valid in feeling how you feel, but if you want to do something about it, by all means, if this is the mangaka's doing, drop it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Drop the manga. Because remember, mangakas get money off of you buying the mangas and you subscribing to the Shonen Jump app and reading it, right? So don't. That's it. Like I said, your dollars make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
you know. So if you really want to show the mangaka, which if you really want to show the mangaka that, yo, you're not really feeling this, by all means, just don't buy the manga. Like me, I have an issue. A lot of people know this because we did a show about it. I got an issue with Dress Up Darling. I think Shorty did blackface. There was one of the characters where she bought a whole tube of Maybelline and she
dressed up as Missy Elliott? Missy Misdemeanor Elliott? Is that what she did? Don't say that.
Fly, super duper fly. No, nah, but she definitely tried to cosplay a character that was way darker than her and was in chains in prison. So I was like,
wait a minute.
Wow. Wow. So we just gonna leave it at that. We're just gonna be like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is so bad. So what I decided to do, I dropped it. I don't read it. I don't watch it. If I do decide to pick it up, they're not getting my coin though. It's gonna be illegal. That's it. That's how I protest. You're not gonna get my dollars. You're not.
Speaking of which, and I'm gonna pivot here real quick because I know we're creeping up on an hour. Patty, you are a One Piece enthusiast.
Yes, I am.
Praise Oda.
All day.
Queen of the Buster Call.
Yes, I am.
I don't know if I'm using the term. I don't even know what a Buster Call is.
Oh, really?
You're aware that I've never watched One Piece.
I know, but it's okay though. It's okay though.
You've recommended that I watch it countless times.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Patty,
I said, ready, it'll be here. I never push anybody to One Piece. I never push anybody to One Piece.
As a friend, I need to ask you, why did you not tell me that I could watch the recap movies to get caught up on One Piece?
Oh, I feel like you miss a lot of moments. I don't like the recap movies. I don't like them too much. There's actually a website that's called One Piece instead of One Piece. They dedicate having all the important stuff of the season, and they put it all together in one movie, and they cut out all the pacing, and they put everything together. So it's a website called One Piece.
Okay.
So I don't think that's good. I think the reason that One Piece fans, we love One Piece so much is because we have patience of saints. You know, even the fillers are good. Man, listen. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to convert you. I don't got no holy water. I don't got none of that. All I'm saying is that if you are looking forward to rushing to watch One Piece, you probably shouldn't, because there's so many things that happen that make you fall in love with One Piece, and you don't want to miss any opportunity for you to actually fall in love with Oda, with the characters, with the backstories, with everybody's main objective. So I feel like if you're looking to catch up with everybody, this ain't for you. I sat there and watched One Piece on my pace, and I fell in love. I am the biggest One Piece fan you'll ever fucking meet. Why? Because I did it on my pace. It's not about how long it is. It's about the journey.
Let me ask this, Miss Patience. Because you give everything so much time and you're so patient.
Oh, I feel like you coming at me. What happened?
How many episodes did you watch of book Case Study of Vanitas before you dropped it?
That's different though.
That's all right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. This has been the Black Ramen Podcast.
That is so, you can't do that to me. That's different. Stop it. I gave that show 3 episodes of my life that I want back. I gave it 3 episodes. I don't know. It just didn't captivate me. It didn't grab me.
You wasn't feeling Creole vampires in Parisian society?
I mean, I'm a big vampire fan. I love Anne Rice. I think she did the best.
That nigga came on the screen and said, "Omelette du fromage. I want to suck your blood." And I was like, this is crazy.
First of all. No. You may not suck my blood with cheese. No, that's not it. I'm not doing that. It just didn't grab me. It didn't do anything to me. It just seems like it was just a bunch of vampires who was just going through orgasms when they were just sucking blood from each other. That was it. I need more substance in that. If you want, like, if you a hentai, be full hentai. If you're just, I'm not the type of person that loves fan service like that. It's either left or right. You want to give me a good story? Give me a good story. You want to give me titties? Give me the whole package. And you want to give me emotion, sex and all that? No. Give me that and say what you are. Hentai. Don't give me a piece of it. Don't tease me. And then the story don't make sense. I'm like, yo, this. I don't understand. Why is this guy in chains again? Why he's being submissive again? Like, I can't. That I dropped real quick. I said, drop that shit real quick.
I have an implicit bias against anything anime and vampire related. 9 times out of 10, if there's a vampire in it, I'm gonna watch the entire thing.
Really? So, quick question: how do you feel about the remake of Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire? They make it into a series.
Is it anime related?
No, it's not anime related.
It
Mm-hmm.
has to be a combination. It can't be one or the other. It has to be anime and it has to be vampires. So like Seraph of the End, Hellsing Ultimate.
There was a vampire anime that was on Adult Swim. I forgot what it was called.
Trinity Blood.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yep.
That was good. That was good. I love that.
It needed another season. They ended with a pretty good cliffhanger, man.
I mean, it is Adult Swim. You know,
man,
they didn't finish anything.
We're gonna be here all night. Basically, y'all know how Bubba Gump is with shrimp. I'm gonna be like that with vampire anime. Like we gonna go another 2 hours, man.
Okay. All right, my bad. I'm gonna let it go. But yeah, I say that to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you disagree with the cover, if you don't like, if there's certain things that you don't like, there's nothing wrong with you speaking your opinion. There's nothing wrong with you stating how you feel, but I just feel like with this, I'm just curious to find out, me personally, did you guys just stepped into the anime realm? Because this has been going on for a while. There's going to be a lot of shows that you're going to come across that's going to be, or a lot of mangas that's going to come across, and you're going to be like, oh, that seems a little pedo, or that seems a little racist. I mean, look, another example. Look at Killua. Not Killua. I'm sorry, not Killua. Hisoka. Yeah. Hisoka is a pure pedo. And I don't care what anybody says. Don't tell me he's in love with energy or power. That's not what it is. He clearly made a hand gesture that is significant, that is clearly made in the anime. That is a signal that pedophiles use in what they want to do to their victims. So hey, no, I'm not doing that.
Hey man, if we being real, niggas is upset about a cover, a cover. They really gonna have to figure out how they feel when this new Kenshin drop.
Oh shit.
2023.
Oh shit. Wait, hold on, real quick, because you just dropped the bomb. Real quick. You think people gonna pull up for that?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And listen, people is already trying to sort out how they feel. And for the users, very quickly to bring you up to speed, Rurouni Kenshin was a phenomenal samurai anime in the late 90s, early 2000s, even played on Toonami, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, etc., etc. It came out that the author, the mangaka, was arrested for pedophilia charges and pretty much got like a slap on the wrist, despite them saying that he had enough content on his hard drive that they thought
he had child pornography on his computer.
Yeah, right? They thought he had enough to where they thought he was a distributor. Light sentence, 18 months of like community service or something crazy like that. So
that's it.
So here we are with this conversation where Rurouni Kenshin has had several live action movie adaptations, continues to be a selling manga, doing very well. The show is still syndicated and streaming on streaming platforms. And lo and behold, they're getting a remake in 2023.
Yes.
Now people have to have that conversation about, can I separate the man from the art?
No, you can't. No, you can't. Not at all. I'm here to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, there's no such thing as separating the man from the art, because anytime you sit here and you support an artist that has beliefs and does things that you do not find ethically moral or just feels that you are a second-class citizen, either for your race or just it's understand you're funding their beliefs. There's a reason why R. Kelly was able to do all these things for years, is because niggas was buying his shit. We funded his habit. We funded him doing the things that he was doing to young girls and young boys. I feel the same way. Whenever there's no way to separate the artist from the art, you cannot, because when you support the art, you're supporting the artist. He gets the money to do what he wants to do at the end of the day, or she wants to do at the end of the day. She or he has the funds to get a lawyer, to beat a case, to continue the BS. And you have to understand that. You don't ever come in a conversation talk about, oh, can you separate the art from the artist? You can never do that, because that is supporting their beliefs, especially if someone feels that they or a specific race or a person who has pronouns is less than. Remember, like, you know, I'm talking about Harry Potter. You know that if you fund them by buying the books, by even talking about them on your platform and giving them that type of clickbait and that shine, it supports that person in their beliefs. Now they have people coming in. Now they have people investing and trying to see what this person is really about, putting into their content, putting into their art. And then you just funded this person to continue to push out rhetoric. No, you cannot separate the artist from the art. Never. You cannot. You cannot. Not at all.
I agree. I think my standpoint on it is content like that, because I struggle with the same thing. You know what I mean? And I know you guys want me to come on here and be devil advocate, but it's like, well, what if you could ensure that if he wasn't getting paid, could you still watch it? Or even if you could watch it on a stream? It's like, look, dude, let me keep it a buck with you. Let me keep it a thou wow Nino, man, right? I'm in the field of digital marketing, okay? Boycotting something is different than how it was in 2019, or not 2019, but 50, 60 years ago. Okay. And I'm not telling you guys to boycott anything. Let me express that to you. Right. But when it comes to you taking a stand on something, right, and you saying that you're not going to support something, that would be the appropriate verbiage for this. Based off of my knowledge of all things digital and digital marketing and how analytics and stuff like that works, it needs to be a total and complete digital media blackout on your part, meaning not only are you not watching it, you're not trying to look it up on illegal sites. You're not searching for it in search engines. You're not liking and commenting and having conversations about it on social media, because it's deeper than just not watching, right? Because when it comes to getting these things greenlit, right, they look at, of course, sales, right? But once they look at sales, the next thing they do is they run, like, listen, they pull the data, they pull the analytics. Is there interest for this anywhere online? Oftentimes it happens in Japan, because that's where the inception of a lot of this stuff is, but they oftentimes search on a global level. And if you're saying, even if you're saying fuck Kenshin, it counts as an impression. You know what I mean? It counts towards that, because they can't really dictate what's positive engagement or negative engagement. They're just like, hey, there's some engagement around this. Let's get the project up and running. So ultimately, if you're not going to support something and take a stance on something, you have to go beyond just not watching it. It needs to be a complete digital blackout of you engaging with any of that content at any level. I don't know, man. I'm talking shit now. It can be done.
No. It can be done. It can be done. It can be done. Y'all new niggas can't do that. You think we were able to no, for real. You think this generation is able to do what they did back then with the bus boycott? No. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, understand that we control this. If they see where we talk and where we put our dollars, we are the trendsetters, especially POCs and black people. Nothing moves until we make it popular. Look, like I said, look at Crocs. Crocs is fire right now. Why? Because black people made it stylish.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking at where we put our dollars and where we're starting to trend. We may not be the biggest consumers, but we are the biggest trendsetters. So understand that whatever you do, whatever statement you make, and whatever you follow, it is heavily, it is being watched. It is being surveillanced. Like niggas is checking out what we doing in order to see if they could capitalize off of it. So be mindful of who you listen to and who you support. I guarantee, like, I understand if it's not out in the light, okay, fine. But I feel a lot better at night knowing that I'm not putting any dollars or putting any influence on a person that's an ain't shit person. That's you know. So Oda at one point got some backlash when he got sentenced. When Rurouni Kenshin got sentenced, because Oda was his pupil. Right? Mm-hmm. So Oda kept it quiet. Oda didn't say anything. So a lot of people was considering canceling One Piece. But then again, a fire chapter came out and everybody forgot. Mm-hmm. So, but I say that to say this: it matters who you support and what do you do with your dollars, right? So, try your best to, if it smells rotten, dig deep, find out the origin, and see if this creator is worth your time and your money. That's it. That's it.
You know, one of the things that I always do whenever somebody, and I'll wrap up on this, mm-hmm. and this is not helpful to anyone. This is just me being petty. Whenever someone blows up on the internet, I immediately find them on Twitter, and you could search their profile, and I immediately search for the N-word. Mm. I'm not one of those people that put it out, but it was like, hey man, you know, that girl that was rapping them Lil Baby and Meek Mill things, like, we seen you. We see you.
And I don't want to hear no excuses. It's caught on 4K. Let me tell you something. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. Oh, that's how they talk, or that was for the times, or I was a kid back then. Betty White lived to be how old? 98? Mm-hmm. She died at 98? Yep. Betty White died at 98. They ain't find nothing on that bitch. She never said nigga. She never said anything that was fucking inhumane, racist, nothing like that. Betty is Betty fucking White, and she was there. She was there. 98? She saw some shit. She definitely saw some shit. But you couldn't see anything that she got recorded or televised or anything where she says anything negative about blacks, POCs, anything about minorities, anything about religion, nothing. There's no excuse why you can't.
Exactly. And I don't like the argument that it was a different time and it was acceptable back then. Mm-mm. You want to know what was acceptable at one point in time? Slavery. You want to know what was acceptable at one point in time? The 1992 Deke dub of Sailor Moon, where Serena or Usagi went as Serena. So yeah, do with that information what you will. I don't know why I dissed that. I love that. I love the 92 version, the Deke dub. It's so, I've been guilty pleasure. I've been searching for it for years and cannot find it on a single streaming platform, legal or illegal. It bums me out sometimes, but
nostalgia. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to wrap things up. Thank you for tuning in to the Black Ramen Podcast. Don't forget, we do have a Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do have a Patreon. If you want to see the behind the scenes of this episode and what we actually put out, definitely go to our Black Ramen Patreon. Give us some coins so we can continue. And you can support us too. I mean, we're not out here doing some foul shit. Just, support the ramen. Support the favor packet, and if you have any content that you want us to talk about on the show, that you want us to review, don't forget to email us at blackramenpodcast@gmail.com. Please put on the subject title, Ask Black Ramen, because if you don't, I spam niggas real quick, light work all day. every day. And D, please let them know where they could find you, please.
Yo, you can find me at Exceutive DTOWN on Instagram, at Hip Hop and Anime Vibes on Instagram, ExecutiveDTOWN.com as well. And hiphopandanimeVibes.com is live, and I'll be updating it soon with more fire articles and all that good stuff.
Where we've been waiting for that. Don't forget to follow. Did you give them their Instagram?
Yeah, twice.
Okay, perfect. No, gotta let them, because that's definitely where the notifications go to.
Yep.
Like, if you definitely want to know when the next episode's up, follow the IG, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, we are out. Peace. Going down. Going down. Meet me at the
Nah, what y'all be doing? Y'all be doing that hot foot, jump over the leg, saucy drill. I don't know what y'all doing.
Who doing that? Nah, I'm too old for that.